7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets,
And love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods or derisions, golden living dreams of visions,
mystic crystal revelation,
and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius, Aquarius.
when the moon is in the 7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Hey there, people all around the world, men and women, boys and girls. The time has come to occupy. It's much too late to judge and cry. Think about a love revolution, and it's here again. And it's time to let the sun shine in. Come together and sing out strong. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. All around the world. Let the sun shine. Come together. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine. Everybody sing. Let the sun shine. Open up your hearts. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine. Come together and sing out strong for a peaceful planet where we all belong. Replace all fears with love and grace. We are different shades of one human race. It's the place to chase. The revolution is here again. It's near again. The resolution will now begin for all to let the sunshine in.
Heart is breaking today, but I'm not broken yet. I try to be optimistic, even though I'm upset. I won't live in fear of this great unknown. Life as we knew it is gone forever. What will it be like the next time we're together? I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. look for the rainbow in the stark gloomy sky. I'm full of questions and I wanna know why we're at this place with no turning back. I pray when I wake up and when I go to sleep for a miracle to happen. We're in trouble deep and I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. There's a time for everything, everything in its time. I'm holding on by a thread before I lose my mind. How much more suffering can this world stand? We're all socially distanced, we can't go anywhere. How did we get here? Sometime life's unfair. I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. I look for the rainbow in this dark gloomy sky. I'm full of questions and I wanna know why we're at this place with no turning back. I pray when I wake up and when I go to sleep for a miracle to happen. We're in trouble deep and I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. Then I think of all I have to be thankful for. My family and friends, I need nothing more. I choose to live in joy. No one can take away. I hold my head up high, I keep pressing on to the prize before me. When it's over and done, I'm keeping the faith to see a better day. I look for the rainbow in this dark gloomy sky. I'm full of questions and I wanna know why we're at this place with no turning back. I pray when I wake up and when I go to sleep for a miracle to happen. We're in trouble deep and I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. I'm keeping the faith. We'll see a better day. We'll see a better day. We'll see a better day.
When I had vision and in peace anywhere, certainly wasn't finding truth. One day I decided in the silence that I would stay there and move. And this is what it said. God is here. Oh man, I am. God is here. God is here. No man, I am. God is here. Not everywhere. Little more reached. I flowers that I choose to. I'm my breath broken with the is good. I am in that stuck on my head. Said it as my mantra every day. I said I believed it. Now that's my day.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. If you would like to learn more about this multi-faith endeavor format or support the pod financially, you can do that at www.peopleofdiversity.org. And and hit the donate button or peruse the website and get more information. We'll have more announcements at the end of the message, so hang out and stick around. So humility is our topic presently. Last week we heard from Reverend Lydia Junis and our brother Victor Morgado. Today we'll hear from the always cool and informative Sensei Dave Vidito and another Canadian brother, Andrew Bentham Riley. And next week we'll hear from Sue Bailey and Melanie England, getting the band back together. Sue and Mel were our original pastor and music minister at the very, very beginning of the People of Diversity some 15, 16 years ago at this point. So without further ado, we will dive into this week's message from Sensei Dave.
Hey there, Andrew Bentham Riley. Happy to be back in the pod. Thanks to Scott for asking me to jump in this week. He needed some extra videos for the topic of humility, being humble. I hope you enjoyed my last videos that I submitted for this one as well. And yeah, always happy to share. So thanks, Scott, for asking me. Have to be back in the pod anytime I can. So I have 2 unreleased songs to play for you today. The first one is called 5-Year Plan. And I just played it live for the first time at a show this past weekend on Sunday. Played it at a songwriters round where, very much like I do here in the pod, I get to talk about the song and then perform it and then kind of chat about it with some friends on stage as well. It was a really nice show. And I really enjoyed this song. It's about kind of the state of the world and the inevitability of change, and how life has proven to me that is the one consistent thing, that things are going to change, and thankfully I've been able to learn that that's not always going to be a negative thing, and even if it is a negative thing, better days come around. You just sometimes have to be a little patient and sit in the gray a little bit. A few years ago, my life took a pretty drastic turn away from some plans that I was pretty locked in on, that I was pretty dead set on having happen. I think life kind of humbled me a little bit. At least that's how I felt. And still do. But it led me to my better days and sharing music and in all sorts of ways I never imagined possible, like here in the pod with you guys. So this one's called 5-Year Plan. I hope you enjoy it. While the world's on fire, you can make your plans. I'm tossing mine to the fire, setting them to blaze. Those best laid plans were just a phase. Saw them all the way, all the way, all the way. Saw them all the way, all the way, all the way. While the world's on fire, you can make your plans. I'm tossing mine to the fire, setting them to blaze. While the world's on fire, you can make your plans. I'm tossing my goals to the fires, setting them to blaze. Those best laid plans were just a game, played it all Yeah, 5-year plan. One of my unreleased songs. Again, just played it for the first time live this past weekend. And yeah, I think it got a pretty nice reception. I think, as did this next one. A quick little thing about some unreleased songs that I have. I do have this newsletter through my website, andrewbenthamriley.com. My screen went to sleep there. That was not part of the plan either. But yeah, I have this thing called the Carpool. It's a free newsletter you can sign up for, and with the newsletter means included access to the Carpool, where I post unreleased songs. Again, completely for free. I guess the only cost, you sign up for the newsletter, and I pop up in your inbox once in a while. If you have social media, you can find me on Instagram at AndrewBentRiley, where I share little snapshots of songs I'm working on, live performances, show postings, all these sorts of things. But of course, I appreciate you being here right now as part of the service today on humility, and I appreciate you listening to these songs. My last song today I'm going to play is called Stay, and I had been thinking about the feeling of wanting to be home. When I was a kid in elementary school, as many children do, I imagine, they ask their parents if they can stay home. Mom, can I stay home from school today? I'm not feeling good. And of course, as an adult, you come to realize that parents saw through the deception of children much easier than you may have realized, or as the kids aren't as good at lying as we maybe thought we were. Thought we got away with so much. But yeah, about the feeling of wanting to just be home and watching Lord of the Rings and playing with my Legos, and then hearing my mom come to check on me, or coming home for lunch and then running back to my bed pretending I'm sick, faking a cough. But I moved away for a while, and moved out for the first time when I was like 20, and was very grateful to have my own space, and still am for sure. But always fought that longing, that feeling of wanting to be back home, fighting that comfort of being home out of some, self-righteous act of independence or something. And now I've been back in my hometown for about 6 months, and I'm 10 minutes away from my family's place, my mom's home, and I don't fight that anymore. I've kind of allowed myself to be more humble when it comes to that longing, that feeling, that feeling of wanting to be back home with family, to drop in for visits, to just go for a coffee, go for family dinner, go sit down and work on a puzzle with my mom, and take advantage of that time while I still have it. Because life is going to continue to change, as I mentioned. That's the one thing I've worked really hard to accept, that change is inevitable, and it's not comfortable all the time. But so I'm taking advantage of staying home whenever I can now, while still doing all the things I need to do. Anyways, thanks so much for having me in the pod. This one's called Stay, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again to Scott for asking me to jump in this week. I'll see you guys around the bend. Burning up, chasing stars, neon glow in the dark. On the climb these depths, the truth I'll define. Counting stars till my lessons learned. Can I stay home? Can I stay home? Can I stay? Shook the bottle, washed away my fears. Curse my name, it's all you'll ever hear. Nothing can shake the open arms here. Can I stay home? Can I stay home? Can I stay home? Can I stay home? Can I stay? Thanks, guys. I'm Andrew Bentham Riley, and I'll see you around the bend. Thanks so much.
Good morning. My name is Dave Vidito with Open Mind Zen here in Melbourne, Florida. Happy to join you today. So the topic for today is humility. Humility. And it's interesting, like most of the topics that we come up with for the pod, they're often a challenge. And so what I like to do typically whenever I have a topic like this is to sit with it. I'll sit, meditate, see what comes up. And so this one was an interesting one as far as what came up for this one, because I have a number of positive examples in my life that I can draw from. But I find that the more you look at a topic like humility, that it's deeper than what you first think. But I always like starting with stories, and so I may have told it here before, but there's one story about my father that I always come back to as an example of humility or being humble or being giving. Yes, a few years ago, we were all together for Christmas, and one of my step cousins, I'll say, decided to play a prank on my dad, and back then they used to sell these fake lottery tickets. Made it look like you were winning, but of course you didn't really win anything. And so as part of the prank, he gave lottery tickets to everyone in their stocking, but put this fake one in my dad's stocking. Of course, the prank is he's going to get all excited that he won and then find out that he lost. But what I saw, it was really interesting because this cousin was off to the side, and I could see the anticipation waiting to see my dad's reaction. So my dad, he takes the lottery ticket, scratches off the numbers. He sees that he's won, and he just hands it back and says, "Here, you need this more." And that always amazed me. I mean, of course, that ruined the joke. And my cousin, of course, didn't know quite how to react to that because he'd witnessed something kind of profound. And my dad didn't mean it that way. It's just he was very giving, very humble person, and he just, "You need this more. You have kids." So it's interesting. And he did embody this. I remember a few times in my life where he would work construction, and I would show up to the construction site, and of course everyone's dirty working construction, and one of the construction workers put out his hand to shake my hand, and I hesitated. I hesitated because I was wearing his really clean clothes, and of course he wasn't very clean, having worked outside all day. And I said, shake his hand. It doesn't matter. Shake his hand. Doesn't matter who he is. Say hello. So those memories stick with me, and those are examples of humility, uh, giving, kindness. Um, but as I look at this a little more deeply, um, it's a challenging topic because with humility, there is genuine humility, and then I'll call it not false humility or maybe artificial, but humility that's actually disguising other things. Um, I'll call it false humility for a lack of anything else. Um, and I think humility, much like loving kindness and other aspects of ourselves, it's less important to practice that than it is to develop a healthy spiritual practice, a healthy meditation practice, a healthy wellness practice. Because I find the more I look at this is when you are in a healthy place, um, when you are comfortable, open, willing to look at a world with an open mind, that from there, humility naturally springs forward. If, on the other hand, right, you're struggling, maybe your ego has been wounded, right? Maybe you've had trauma in your life, and so you're in this protection mode, or anger, or fear. Sometimes the ego gets in the way in this kind of self-importance, a type of arrogance, if you will. So when those have come to the forefront, humility is not really there. And I would suggest that if that's the case, that for that person, working on humility is not what's most important. It's getting at the underlying fear, the underlying anger, that drive underneath for being the center of attention, the center of importance. Um, that is most important. And as you explore that, as you go deeper into that, as you learn that to understand what's really going on within yourself, little by little, you can let go of some of those tendencies. Little by little, you grow and mature. And as that happens, then that part of us that's underneath, uh, Buddhists will call it Buddha nature, or Christians and Muslims, the image of God. Um, that nature that's underneath that fear, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, that part of you that's under that humility, right, flows from that place. Kindness, love, all flow from that place. But often our ego, often our wounded ego, is preventing that from happening. So you all have these wonderful qualities. As they say in Zen, you are all Buddhas, every one of you. Now, some of you are sad Buddhas and angry Buddhas, and some of you are happy Buddhas and blissful Buddhas, but you are all Buddhas, right? You are all connected to that deeper inner part. An ancient Zen master, Lin Shi, called it the true self of no rank. The true self of no rank. That true aspect of yourself that doesn't need to put itself first. Doesn't need to think it's better or worse than anyone. It's just here, now. True self, the true self. So humility naturally springs forth, naturally comes from this place. And the opposite, of course, is arrogance. Um, and and arrogance subtly permeates our lives. And we all have it. We're all arrogant. We all have a need to be right, sometimes more, sometimes less. Um, if you're one of those types that needs to be right more often, then that's something to work with, right? Because that is a type of arrogance, that I need to be right. That's basically saying the world needs to conform to what I need, right? Putting yourself in the center, if you will. I must, I must, I must be right. I am right. I can hear my own thoughts and my own, myself here in this, because we all do this. Actually, I had an experience recently that made me really examine this in myself, and it's kind of interesting. Again, this is looking at more arrogance, right? The opposite of humility, and that is, not that long ago, my wife was actually at the gym, and she was wearing a workout shirt that was, I don't know, pro LGBTQ. It was pro science. It was a few. It was pro a few of those kinds of things. And someone comes up to her, and I wasn't there. This is a story I heard after the fact. Someone comes up to her uh, and pardon the language, but says, "You libtard," and then proceeds to explain to her why her politics is wrong. Um, and that's arrogance. His opinion was so strong that he had to push it onto another person. Push it onto another person. And that was, and of course, my wife handled it like a champ. Basically told him to go pound sand, and then she went off and finished her workout. Um, but where this got interesting for me from a practice perspective is I realized that as frustrated and as angry at that person as I was when I found this out, I realized, flip side, I'm not that different. I can think back to that same gym where I would walk in and I saw someone wearing um, I'll call it the crazy Jesus shirt. Jesus will save you, something, something, otherwise you're damned to hell. Now, of course, this is triggering for me with my background, kind of recovering, if you will, having escaped fundamentalism, Christian fundamentalism. And I remember in the past thinking to myself, this is crazy. I'm gonna give him peace of my mind. No, I never did. I always stopped myself. But I realized in that moment that I had the seeds of that arrogance, the same arrogance that caused that one person to confront my wife. Those are the same seeds that I have in myself. And I think it's important as part of our practice to be brutally honest with ourselves. Because if we're not honest with ourselves, then who will be? Who will be? And so the seeds of arrogance are there. And what is that? That's the ego, right? That's the ego saying, I am important. I am right. I need to fix you. So that was interesting looking at that experience from both perspectives, So humility, humility. Um, in many ways, humility is an expression of don't know mind. Not don't know in the sense of I'm ignorant, but don't know in the sense of I am open. What is this? What's next? Being humble in the moment is being open in the moment. Being Having humility is recognizing that I may not always be right. I have an opinion, but I may not be right. And it's a challenge being comfortable in that space, being comfortable in that don't know space. It's uncomfortable for most people to not have an opinion and to not treat their opinions as if they are fact, right? Entrenching your opinions and then hopping over to social media to try to convince everyone why your opinions are right and theirs are clearly wrong. So, so we have to live where we want to strive to live in this don't know space. I don't know. And as I'm talking about, arrogance, humility, I'm seeing over and over, this is pointing back to the basics of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths, the basics, right? The first truth, the truth that there is suffering. The second truth, the cause of suffering is unhealthy attachments to ideas or anything. Then the third, the truth that it is possible to end suffering, transcend suffering by letting go of these attachments. And then the fourth being the Eightfold Path. So how do we transcend suffering? Well, we start by seeing ourselves. That's the first step, is we have to see ourselves. And that the arrogance, the desire to be right, the desire to have things a certain way, the need to have things safe, all of that's there. And the more we hold on to this, the more we suffer. And depending on where we are in our journey, it may not be possible to let go of some of these attachments without serious work, possibly even therapy for some of us. But we have to do it. That is the path of liberation. That is the path of freedom. That is where we grow. That is where we learn. That's when we really learn to connect with ourselves and the people in our lives. And as you go through this process, humility naturally springs forth. Loving kindness, right? Compassion naturally comes forth, right? Because that true nature, that image of God, is allowed to come forth, right? Once the ego gets out of the way. So, humility, grace, kindness, giving nature, those are all connected. They're all connected by that true self, that Buddha nature, the image of God. It's all there. It's all there. So how do you develop this? And again, I wouldn't focus specifically on something like humility. I would have a broader perspective on the practice, right? Start by really spending time examining yourself. What's going on, right? And you can do this with meditation. It can be done with prayer. But be willing to actively look at yourself, right? I recommend some sort of meditation. I recommend a mindfulness practice. Connect to the body, mindfully connect to the body. If you can connect to the body, you can gain access to what's really going on. The arrogance we were talking about, anger, fear, this need for protection, all of that you can access by connecting with the body. And that's challenging to explain in such a short talk. And if anybody's interested, I'm happy to work with you on that. But by connecting to the body, you're able better to connect not only with the feelings, your emotions, but the underlying thoughts that are connected with those emotions. And I had somebody ask me once, does the thought come before the emotion or the emotion come before the thought? And I'm pretty sure it's the dog chasing its tail. They're interconnected. So you work with all of that. Other practice methods, develop that, what I'll call big mind perspective, right? Can I keep that larger perspective on myself, relationships, life, that big mind perspective? Um, the more you, the more you're able to abide in that big mind perspective, the less you're in the me perspective. And it's the me perspective that needs to be protected, that is fearful, that is angry. Can I be larger than that? And again, actively look for areas where you are treating opinion as fact. I see this repeatedly. So I do recommend, actually, will seem odd from a spiritual teacher, learning critical thinking. Critical thinking is a learned skill. Most people don't realize that. It's not something that comes natural. We're more intuitive beings. So learning, when am I pushing myself onto somebody else? When am I making an assumption? When am I taking an opinion or a supposition, a theory, treating it as fact, and cobbling together to create the latest conspiracy theory? So again, all of these things are really poking at how do I access and work with the ego, moving it out of that wounded or unhealthy space into a healthier place. And then from that healthier place, humility comes forward, loving kindness comes forward. I will throw out one thing that I don't recommend, and I'll caveat this a little bit. Don't pray for humility. I don't recommend it. And it's easy for me to say this as a Buddhist, but here's specifically what I mean. Don't pray in the sense of asking somebody outside of you to make you humble, to make you kind, to give you humility. And I say that because I don't want you to wait. Don't wait for something else to make this happen. You, right? Work, examine. What is this? You are the expert on you. So don't wait. Don't wait for someone else to show you or for humility to come raining down and you feel it and now everything's grand. That's you, all of us. We need to work on what's real, what's going on right now, what is triggering my ego, and how do I move into that healthier space? So I think I've strayed a bit from just a straight talk on humility, but then bring up a lot of interesting, challenging topics. So why don't we try an exercise? And again, the basic exercise is just mindfulness exercise. It gives you access to so much. And with mindfulness exercise, you can actually begin working with a lot of these things. So go ahead and just kind of sit, chair on the floor, whatever's comfortable. Just kind of balance yourself. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Hands maybe in your lap, or if you like, you can put them in the center of your lap. Just take some deep cleansing breaths in, out. In, out. Just keep breathing. I want you to feel your breath. I want you to hear your breath. Feel when it's warm, feel when it's cold. Notice your chest and stomach rising and falling. See if you can notice every aspect of breathing. Try to stay focused there, just breathing. Eventually, your mind will wander. That's what minds do. No matter how much you practice, that's what minds will do. And if you notice that, just acknowledge it. Maybe smile to yourself. See if you can set that aside just a little, and then come back to breathing. The most fundamental skill you can learn is to come back to yourself. Come back to this moment. Come back to what you're experiencing, what you're feeling. Not just what you're thinking, but what's under the thoughts. What is this? Be intensely curious about yourself, your life. And maybe taking a couple more deep cleansing breaths. And smiling to yourself. Thankful that you've taken this time for yourself. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So I'll leave you with that. And there were some deep topics here. I'm available if anybody has questions, or if any of this you'd like to work with. Just you can find me through our website, or Becky, of course, has all my information. So thank you all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Andrew. Amazing as usual. Sensei Dave, thank you for always bringing us deeper into that introspective component of the topics that we look at. We're always grateful for the journey. We also put a shout out to Philip Lupo and his team at PL Theatrical. If you have needs in the audiovisual department, whether it be live or on video, give them a call. So we have past services, notifications are available at the People of Diversity group, page, and YouTube channel. On that YouTube channel, if you'll subscribe to that, it will give you a ding on Sunday morning. It will also let you interact live on the chat on YouTube if you prefer not to be online in the social media world of Instagram and Facebook and such. It also gives you the opportunity to search either by topic or by faith on that YouTube channel. So please use that tool and dive deeper into your journey. Speaking of deep dives, on Zoom, following the morning service, we have a deep dive. The address is in the post above, or in the link below, and the password, should you need it, is truth. And if you'll double back at 5:45 on Sunday afternoons, you can pick up our second broadcast. That's also what we pin to the top of the Facebook page and group, so that you can send folks back or pop back yourself and check things out. Let me just move things down here a little bit. So each week we highlight a country. Somewhere in the world. We are in San Marino right now. And we want to send peace, love, joy, strength, happiness, abundance to the folks of San Marino. And if you'll play along with me, we'll send some love there. May peace prevail in San Marino. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Reminding you that next week we have the incomparable Sue Bailey and Melanie England back together, bringing us message and music. If you would like to tithe, donate, or make an offering, you can do that at www.peopleofdiversity.org, and hit that donate button in the middle of the page and act as you are so driven. Let's do our healing circle. If you'll bring to your mind's eye anyone in your world who needs love, help, or support, healing in any way. And let's put our leaders and the people who are trying to run the planet in that circle as well. Don't forget to include yourself. And let's put out some loving energy while we listen to this amazing Daniel Nahmad song. And have an amazing day, an amazing week, and we'll see you soon.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love.